appreciate us doing this.
Shit. Appreciate you having me on the camera, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I hope you guys don't mind. I'm looking at both cameras, but I'm talking to everybody, so let's do this.
Cool. So yeah, you could, if you want, you could look and talk that way. You can look and talk that way. You can look and talk.
I'm looking at all of them at the same time. Let's do it.
What's your full name, and why were you named that?
Full name? My full name is IsaacTuck. As far as why I was named that, I don't have an answer for that off the top of my head. I do not remember why I was named that.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever like ask questions?
I've asked why I was named that before, definitely, but I think my dad wanted to name me Israel, but I don't think my mom's gonna let that slide, So try to kind of keep it still biblical. If you went with Isaac, it's kind of close to Israel, it's still biblical. So I think that's what we went with.
Yeah. So you're not named after someone else.
I'm not named after anybody else.
Mm-hmm. And did you have a nickname when you were growing up?
Man, see, my brothers used to tease me about that all the time. I've had many a nickname growing up. I used to call myself all kind of things: Isaac, Ike, Ice, Tuck. Just Iran. All. If you ask my brothers, I had like 72 nicknames and counting. But we just narrowed it down to now my nickname is Ike Lion. That's just me. I am the Ike Lion. So.
Right. Cool. And so if you go back to like the childhood nicknames, why were those your nicknames?
They were just my nicknames just because, they were just close to Isaac, And I just adopted them. I was like seeing how many we can go. Look how many different types of people I could be, I guess. You mean, You know what I'm trying to say? Like kind of different alter ego.
So Ike Lion, how did Ike Lion come to be?
Ike Lion came to be because a few years back, Snoop Dogg changed his name to Snoop Lion, but he didn't do it as good. It was the Snoop Lion. Everybody kind of trashed him for that, But I really like Snoop Dogg because he represents the West Coast, And so I just kind of roll with that. I have the lion's mane, and Ike Lion just kind of goes together.
Yeah.
It just grows off the tongue, Ike Lion.
Heck yes. And so what do family members call you now?
Still go by, my family calls me Isaac, So name Isaac. Name on the government papers.
Cool. Where and when were you born?
I was born at Bellflower Hospital, 1990. It's February 17, 1990.
Mm-hmm. And were you baptized? And if so, what religion were you baptized into?
I was baptized into Catholicism. Definitely, I was baptized into Catholicism at I believe it was at 52nd Street, St. Bridget's Church. I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, I believe that's where I was.
And where is that church?
It's on 52nd Street in LA, South Central Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm. And so was that what was the religion of your parents, and if you know of your grandparents?
I would have to say that they were Catholic too. I got baptized. I couldn't see them baptizing me and them not being baptized themselves, And then, but as far as my grandparents know, couldn't tell you.
And so your dad and mom Catholic?
I believe my dad was Catholic. My mom, no, I don't know. I have to ask my mom. That's just nothing that I ever thought to ask her,
Yeah. And so what church, if any, do you attend now?
I don't attend any church right now. It's kind of a weird relationship I have with church. It's like, to my understanding, God is everywhere. We are all God. God is this phone. God is me. God is the air around us. So why do I specifically have to go to His house for Him to hear my message? For Him to hear me plead for Him, for Him to hear me worship Him. I don't have to specifically be in His living room for that. I can do that from here in my garage or outside and on the street or whatever. He's gonna hear me regardless from everywhere I go. Yeah. So that's the reason I don't go to church.
Yeah. And is this like a feeling that you had evolved into? How long has that been your philosophy?
It's kind of been my philosophy since you look on the news and you see about not every pastor is the same way or whatever, but you hear about these big time pastors who pretty much just take advantage of their people, just getting all these money to live lavishly while their people are just kind of struggling out there and they're not even trying to offer any kind of support. And I'm like, I can't put myself behind that, don't ask others of something that you're not even going to do yourself, that's kind of life I live.
Yeah. Where was your first home?
My first home, as far as I remember growing up on 50th Street in LA.
Hmm.
Man, I love that place.
Yeah,
50th and Budlong. Used to, all kind of adventures out there on the streets, hanging with the neighborhood kids, going around the corner to the library to read the books and play in the park around the corner. And learn how to learn how to play baseball and football and basketball. Yeah, that was my childhood home right there.
Yeah.
Learn how to ride a bike, learn how to skate, everything. Got in trouble there. Oh man, yeah, so many memories there.
Yeah. So expand on that a little bit. Just some things that you kind of remember, like at that first home. Like just do you remember like the neighborhood, like some of the kids that you would play with? Do you remember any of that?
I don't really. Oh, I remember. Apparently, we lived next to an alley, and one of the biggest things that I remember is my neighbors across the alley. They actually ended up going to high school with them later on down the line. You know, so every time I would introduce myself to somebody new, like, and they would hear it, they would always tease me, be like, "Hi, my name's Isaac," because that's, you know, kind of how hello, my name's Isaac, you know, just always tease the fuck out of me for that. That shit is hilarious. So yeah,
And
my name's Isaac, you know.
How many homes and places have you lived in since that?
I've lived in a few places, but I only call 3 of them my home. You know, when we lived in LA, 50th Street in LA, when we moved from there to Vine Street in West Covina, I guess 4 if you count this one too. When we moved from there to Covina, we lived in Covina for a few years, for 8 years, and then we've lived here for the last 2 years. So those are my only 4 homes. I mean, like from 2010 to 2012, I went to Oklahoma on a scholarship to play football. So I stayed in the dorms out there. I had a couple of places out there. After that didn't work out for me, I ended up moving to Illinois for a few months, and I stayed in a place out there for a little bit. So, but those wasn't really my homes. Those are just temporary, you know. Like, home is where your breath rests. Home is where my heart is, and this is here.
Cool. And can you tell me like a story or any memory that you have of you and your siblings?
Me and my siblings. Yeah, what's the best story I could tell of me and my siblings? That's really hard, man. Because both of my brothers are really on the opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, it's like my older brother. He's Sports Center, you know. Every time you go into this place, he always got Sports Center, ESPN on the tube, you know. Like, I just got on the phone with him a little while ago, and he was telling me about the draft and the NFL draft and everything, you know. So I'm like, he's super sports oriented. Little brother, on the other hand, he's more of a nerd, you know. Like, he's all into video games, anime, and all that kind of stuff. So like, I could talk to both my brothers about all that stuff. So like, you know, and then on top of that, they're 5 years apart. You know, I'm right in the middle of both of them. So like, I'm kind of like the mediator in between both of them. So as far as the story with all 3 of us, I don't have a story, but on my Instagram, there's a picture with all 3 of us walking in San Francisco. And like, I don't remember who took the picture, but whoever took the picture of us, like, we look like a damn R&B group, bro. Like, we look like, you know, like we could be like Boys to Men, except for we're like, you know, we're, you know, back to black or some shit like that, you know, like, I don't know, it's just, I don't have a story with all of us. That's just all I got right there.
Yeah. Do you have any kind of memories of hanging with them, or just like things that you would do together?
Definitely, yeah. Coming up, like I said, my older brother was always in sports, so he had this football rug. He always had all the sports rugs. He had the football, the basketball, the soccer rug, and he would take all the cars, all the Hot Wheels that we had, and he would make the Hot Wheels be his players. You know, he would use like a penny as like a ball or something. So like, he would have all the big trucks be like the linemen if he was playing football, and he'd have all the convertibles be like, you know, all the special players, the quarterbacks and receivers or whatever. And then he would walkie-talkie to me upstairs as I'm playing PlayStation or something, or Super Nintendo. He would walkie-talkie to me upstairs, asking me what plays that he should run during what situations. He'd be like, "Yo, Isaac, man, it's 32. You know, I'm on the 27-yard line. What do you think I should? What kind of play should I run?" And I radio back to him like, "Oh man, I think you should hit him with the play action real quick, roll out to the right, and just make up some shit." You know, like, and that's just how we did things or whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah. So you guys had a pretty cool, cool.
The carpet. He would have you know, you have the town map on the carpet, on the rollout carpet, so you can drive your cars on. He would have the football stadium on the rollout carpet and take the Hot Wheels and just and play a game of football with himself with the Hot Wheels as his characters, as his players, and then he'd use like a penny or like a grain of rice or something as a football or something. Like this is just thinking of him playing on the floor with the Hot Wheels is hilarious, yo. Like
yeah. And do you have any sisters?
I do have I have an older sister. Her name is Summer. Summer Love Tucker.
Mm-hmm. And do you get to talk with her a bit? Like how do you guys get along?
I usually talk to her. I talk to her pretty often. I talk to her pretty often, but every time I call her, she'll always be like, "Man, you haven't talked to me in 5 weeks." I'll be like, "I just talked to you yesterday," But I talk to her pretty often. I love my sister. Cool. She's awesome. I tell you, I talk to her on the phone all the time, actually.
Yeah. And so, what are the full names of all your siblings?
All my siblings. All right. So starting from oldest to youngest, this is my oldest. This is my sister. I'm not gonna say the age because that's disrespectful. You already know. So my sister's name is Summer Love Tucker. I believe Wilson. She just got married to her husband Larry. And my older brother, his name is Xavier Quentin Tucker. And then it's me. I'm next, Isaac Terrell Tucker. And then after me is my little brother Charles Henry Tucker. Cool. That completes us.
And so what were some other things that you guys did like for fun as kids?
For fun? Oh, you know what? I do remember. One of my favorite memories actually that I have with my brothers is back when I was in high school. My little brother was in 8th grade or whatever. The game Rock Band just came out. Man, that game was so fun. So like we would rush home on the weekends to play Rock Band, to just do like the whole concert experience on it. Like Xavier would be on the guitar, Charles would be on vocals. Xavier's girlfriend at the time would be on the fucking drums, and I would be on the bass, and we would just literally jam out for hours to Rock Band. None of us can play a real instrument. Charles could play an instrument, but me and Xavier can't play no real instrument to this day. But we had hours and hours of fun on Rock Band, though. Rock Band was the shit.
Are there any chores that you remember hating doing?
Dishes, man, I hate the dishes, dude. Oh my god, I hate doing the dishes to this day. Like, I can't stand doing the dishes, man. I will go out to eat. I will go out and buy plastic plates and forks, and you know what I'm saying. I will eat out of the container that it's cooked in to avoid doing the dishes. I cannot stand doing the dishes. I'll do the dishes if they have to be done. But if nobody asks me to do the dishes, I'm not stepping up to do the dishes. That's one thing that I will not do. Like, I don't do dishes. I hate the dishes.
Were you ever like were you ever chosen to do dishes? Like, was it ever delegated to you?
I was the dish master, yo. Like, unfortunately I always got in trouble because I was always doing some dumb stuff. Like, I'm always off the wall, kind of. So like, I was always the one getting in trouble, so I was delegated to do the dishes the majority of the time. Yeah, I know how to clean the dishes. I'm the best dishwasher, probably. I'm cleaning dishes better than your dishwasher, but I don't want to do it. Well, thank you.
Do you like to read? And if so, what are some things that you like to read? Either favorite books, magazines, anything?
I love reading. There was a time where you would catch me, on the weekend, instead of going out, you could catch me deep in a book, unfortunately, I just don't have the time nowadays to read. But if I had time to read, I would definitely pick, more fantasy type, non-fiction genre. I want to read about some wizards and some fights and some stuff like that. Some princes and princesses and some castles and stuff like that. That's what I want to read. Take me somewhere else. I don't want to read about stuff that I can experience on the daily. Take me somewhere that I can't experience, and that's what I look for in a book.
Cool. And do you remember having like any favorite favorite nursery rhymes, bedtime stories, or anything like that? And if so, what were they?
My favorite nursery rhyme, right, is the 3 Men in the Tub. But featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I'm saying? So it's rub-a-dub-dub, 3 Men in the Tub. That was gross, so I blew them up. That's my favorite Russian nursery rhyme. I'll never forget that one.
And did you have any favorite toys growing up?
Favorite toys. Aside than video games, I think my favorite toy would have to be Stretch Armstrong. You can do so much with Stretch Armstrong. Stretch Armstrong was just one of the most awesome toys of all time. Like, he had like this weird rubber composite body or whatever that you could twist and contort into all kind of things. But then he had like this like off-brand Hulk Hogan face, and he was just like, "Oh, stretch Armstrong." And then like I remember one time we stretched Armstrong's arms a little too far, and it broke. So like we had buried him in the backyard in a Domino's box. We had a full-blown funeral for Stretch Armstrong. Like sad days.
And so were there any other action figures like that you liked, or was that pretty much was
Stretch Armstrong was the best. I had a gang of action figures. I had like this 2 foot tall Spider-Man, Iron Man, Venom, and then I think I had Wolverine as well. And I had this like 2.5 foot tall Woody doll that I had gotten to my mom's fabric paints, and I like went to town on his face with that one. But he had the removable hat and the drawstring. It was pretty cool. And that was pretty much what I remember for the most part, you know. And then Beanie Babies. Everybody loves Beanie Babies. I grew up in the era when Pokemon was big, so I would take my Beanie Babies and I would play with Charles, and we would pretend like these Beanie Babies were Pokemon and just play Pokemon with the Beanie Babies, you know, like let their imaginations run wild.
Yeah. Were there any favorite games that you like playing? It could be video games and non-video games.
Favorite games? I'm a tag man. I love to run. Let me run. You know what I'm saying? Let me run. I don't want to be it. You chase me. You know what I'm saying? See if you can catch me. You probably won't, but you can try, and I'm more than welcome to the challenge. But I am a tag. Anything that involves running, chasing, that's my game. You know what I'm saying? We played Smear to Queer. That was one of my favorite ones. Let me get the ball. Let me run. You try to get me if you can. You're not gonna get me. You know, tag, cops and robbers. You know, freeze tag, hide and go seek. All those games. Just let me run. Just let me run.
And how about video games? What are your some of your favorite video games?
Some of my favorite video games? Man, I'm a gamer, so I love all the games. I love all the games. It's hard to... I can talk about video games for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours because I love games like that much. Like I love video games. That's one of my biggest hobbies is video games.
Are your favorite types of games? Are they sports games, shooter games?
I'll play anything, any type of game, but sports games, because I honestly feel like I can go out there into the real world and play sports. You know what I'm saying? So why would I waste my time on that in the video game when there's so much other worlds that I have to explore? You know, like so many other lives that I have to save. You know, like I don't got time to practice. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta get out there in the world and save people.
And were there any like fads or fashions or fads that you remember growing up? You know that you were like really into?
Pokemon, hands down. Like, I mean, I don't do Pokemon Go right now or nothing like that, but back in the day, like, Pokemon was the thing to do, you know? Like, I had a shoebox full of cards. I had played all the games up until the thing, you know? Like, I asked for a Game Boy for my birthday. When I got it, I almost cried of excitement because I just, Pokemon, you know? I remember somebody asked me, they were like, what are you playing? I was like, they looked in there, and one of my Pokemon moves was tapping. They were like, what are you playing, football? I was like, no, I'm playing Pokemon. You know, like, yeah, Pokemon is real. It's an exception.
Where did you attend grade school?
Grade school, I went 2 different places. I went to, for the most part, I went to a Catholic school in LA off of 42nd Street called St. Cecilia. And that was a pretty cool school. I liked all my teachers that I went up there with. And for the most part, they still remembered me even when I came back to visit. And then after we moved out of LA, that's when I started going to public school. And then I went to Cameron Elementary School in West Covina to finish up my grade school years.
And where did you go to high school?
I went to West Covina High School.
Mm-hmm. And what were your schools like?
What do you mean what were my schools like? School is school, you know. You just go, you learn things that aren't really useful in real life. You know, you just go because you pretty much have to go. But elaborate. What do you mean? What are schools like?
So as far as just the overall, just like the type of people, were they? Did you notice any difference between going, for instance, in grade school, from going to Catholic school to then going to public school after Catholic school? Were there any like big standout differences?
Well, I had a lazy eye all my life, so, you know, everybody treated me kind of the same no matter where I went. I always had to kind of fight for recognition, for them to be like, well, aside from his eye, he's a pretty cool guy, you know, like, so, they treated me the same at grade school as they did in high school. The only difference is like, in high school, I'd already been out here for a while playing football, so they know I could run, you know.
It's like a great equalizer.
Definitely.
And how did you like school?
I like school in the sense of like I like being out of the house, not being confined to the house all day. I'm not a fan of homework. Oh, I hated homework. Classwork and tests weren't so bad. I actually like tests. Like I compete. You know what I'm saying? Like I love to compete. So you give me a test, you give somebody else a test. I'm gonna see who got the better score. Like I'm gonna show out because I like to show out.
What was your favorite subject in school and why?
History, because of the battles. I like studying the Trojan War, the Civil War, the American Revolution, the French Indian War. I just like the history of battles, the history of weapons, what kind of weapons they use. Not so much of like I don't want to see people get brutalized or anything. I just like the evolution of the type of weapons that were used, and the tactics that were used in battle and stuff. That's what I like.
Yeah. What would you say was the easiest subject for you?
Easiest subject would probably have to be math. 'Cause math is constant. Math is never changing. 2 + 2 is always 2, or 2. See, I guess I wasn't that good at math. 2 + 2 is always 4. You know what I mean? So like, it's never changing. But as far as like, you can have words like homonyms, there, your, and your. Like confusing much. Like even sentences can be interpreted differently. But math, you can't interpret that in any other way than math.
And did you have a subject that you felt was the hardest?
Hardest subject? I would have to say the English was the hardest subject simply because I was not a fan of homework and English required.
What do they remember the most about you? Like reputation-wise, how would you think they remember you?
I think they remember me because I was that guy that was really good at football. I think that's what stood out the most, like more so than anything that I've ever done, anything that I've ever said. I was that guy that was just ridiculously good at football. That's what I stand out for.
And would you say you did well in school?
I did well enough, like I didn't fail.
Yeah.
I didn't pass with flying colors, but I didn't fail with no APs. I was right in the middle,
What did you wear to school, and how would you describe your overall getup?
Man, my overall getup would probably have to be like literally, just imagine Chinky in all of his videos. Like that's me, dude. Like baggy jeans, some kind of colorful ass jacket or something. Just I don't know, I guess I was the fuckboy of the era, it's just how they dressed. Trying to stay on swag, I guess.
What kind of school, you had mentioned football, but so including that, what were the different school activities that you participated in?
I participated in a few of them. I liked theater, I liked doing the assemblies. I was on the football team, obviously. I tried out for basketball. I did wrestling a little bit. I was on the track team every year. That's pretty much it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Just sports and then assemblies and kind of theater because I like the drama. I like the dramatics.
Did you and your friends have any special hangout spots? Were there any places that you guys would just go to get together and kick it?
In high school, I didn't really have like a group of friends. I was kind of a loner. So, I would just go from group to group or whatever. Everybody welcomed me, but then there was nobody that I was just like, yeah, that's my clique right there. Like them's my nigga. Like there was nobody like that for me. I don't know. I just couldn't really connect to anybody like that. So I just kind of stuck to myself.
Mm-hmm. Were there any things that you and the football team would do, or anywhere where you and a group of teammates would go, or not so much?
Yeah, like I said, not really. I just kind of hung up on myself, did my own thing. I hit practice, I walk home with myself, hang out at lunch with myself. I'll sit near other people, but I'm just listening to their conversation. I'm not really engaging with them, I'm just kind of hearing what they got going on. I was a wallflower.
And how would you describe yourself as a little bit later on as a young adult?
As a young adult, from the wallflower stage to the young adult stage, I got reckless, I was just like, y'all about to know who I am, because I know what I can do. I already recognize that, everybody recognized me as that guy who played football, I'm good at what I do, you know. So let me do what I do, and you gonna see me, you know. So I got a little arrogant, got a little reckless, got a big headed, you know. Definitely got big headed.
And were you gonna continue, or did I?
I was gonna actually continue, yeah, like from there to like from being a young adult actually to now, definitely humbled out a lot now, you know, like, you know, I definitely recall lessons in life, like life's not fair, you know, like you know, it's not all about me, you know what I'm saying, like I'm not the only one living in this world, so that's definitely humbled me out a little bit, a lot of it.
Did you go to any school after high school, or do any training? And what, if so, what was like your field of study? What kind of training?
I went to Citrus College after high school. I played football there for 2 seasons. I just took general classes while I was there because I just wanted to be on the football team. And then after I went to after Citrus in 2012, like I said, I had a scholarship to go to Oklahoma. I went to a Division II in Oklahoma, Southwestern Oklahoma State University, and I played football there for a semester. And I studied theater when I was up there.
And do you have a college degree?
I did not have a college degree. I did not get that far.
And as a child, what do you remember wanting to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a football player, you know, because that's what I did. Everybody recognized me for that, you know, especially because coming out of when I stayed in LA, I was a lineman. They made me be lineman. I was a nose guard, or you know what I'm saying, an offensive guard, or made me pull or whatever. But when I first moved from LA to West Covina, you know what I'm saying, like we ran the races, and they were like, "Oh man, you're fast. You could be running back," you know. And so from then on, I was like, "Yo, that's what I need to be. I need to be a running back," you know. So from that point on, like year 2000, when I was 10, I wanted to be a football player.
And what was your first job?
My first job was security guard actually at Citrus College. I was security guard for my second semester up there, and I got to patrol the parking lot after football practice and class. It was pretty dope. It was really chill.
And since then, what jobs have you had?
Since then, security guard. You know, I worked at a supermarket, but then after that, strictly restaurant. I worked in the restaurant industry. I'm a server.
Would you say you make enough money to live comfortably?
Yeah, I think I make enough money to live comfortably.
And how long do you usually work each work day?
My work shift can go from anywhere to like 3 hours to like 9 hours, depending on work flow. You know, like if I go in there on like a Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, I could expect to be there somewhere from like 3 to 4 or 5 hours at the most, you know. Might have a crazy, unusual rush, but I usually be there from 3 to 5 hours. If I go in there on Friday or Saturday, I'm probably going to be there for, you know, 6 to 8 hours at least.
When ideally would you like to be retired, and when do you think you'll be retired?
In all honesty, I don't see myself actually retiring. You know, I see myself working till the day that I die. You know, like simply because I don't have a plan for retirement, and I hear about other people on retirement who are just kind of like really not doing anything. At this stage of my life, I suck at vacationing, so I can't see myself going on vacations as a retired person. So like, yeah, I can only see myself. And especially being in the restaurant industry, it's not too demanding of work. I can see myself either being a server or a bartender to the day I die. Like I could be the 89-year-old bartender giving you Tom Collinses across the bar. You know what I'm saying? Like that could be me.
How old were you when you started dating?
I guess I was 14 when I started dating.
And do you remember anything about your first date?
I didn't go on too many like dates where, you know what I'm saying, go out to the movies and the dinner and all that kind of stuff right there. I do remember the first girl that I was talking to. She was a cutie, you know. I actually played football with her brother, and then somebody had told me, they were like, "Oh, that girl has a crush on you," you know. Somehow I ended up getting her number, and we talked on the phone actually pretty regularly for like a few years actually. So that was pretty chill.
Yeah. What do you admire most about your current girlfriend or wife?
What I admire most about my wife, honestly, she's never taken me backwards. Honestly, like she she may not, you know what I'm saying, let me do what I need to do all the time. Like she might, take control of myself sometimes, but to her defense, she's never driven me backwards or taken me into a negative situation. Like she's always been nothing but bring me up.
Um, uh, when and how have any of your parents died, and what do you remember about it?
Man, a few years back, my dad actually passed away, and what I remember about it is that first of all, the last thing I asked him about was a fucking Peugeot. Like I showed him this like ugly ass French Peugeot car. And I was like, "You seen this before?" He was like, "Yeah, man, it's Peugeot," and just left or whatever. Then the next time I saw him, he was on the couch. He was asleep. He's getting ready to go to work because he used to work at night. So the whole time he had fell asleep at like 5 p.m. I was gonna wake him up at like 9. The whole 4 hours I'm walking by, back and forth, just trying to stay quiet. Not even knowing that he's already passed away on the couch, man. Like that shit was crazy.
And where's he buried?
He's not buried actually. His ashes are on our buffet table in the living room in there.
Do you remember your grandparents describing anything about their lives? And if so, what do you remember them saying?
I don't really have a good memory about my grandparents, to be honest. I really don't. I just remember going over there all the time and just be like, I'm his little buddy. Granddad would always have he had the cool ass hot tub in the back. That shit was cool. I would always be like, "Yeah, let's get in the hot tub." Then he would always have those weird ass gold diet Pepsi cans in the fridge back there. Like, where the fuck do you even get those from? Got the gold ones, but that's all I really remember.
Do you remember your great grandparents?
No, I don't remember them at all.
Who would you say was the oldest person that you remember as a kid?
The oldest person I remember as a kid is definitely got to be my granddad.
Mm-hmm.
My grandpa's the oldest person that I remember.
And what's his name?
I don't know his middle name, but his name is Stanley Tucker.
And do you have any? Did you have any childhood diseases?
Well, when I was in high school, my sophomore year, actually, I had an extra vein on my heart, so I had a heart murmur. I would be playing sports, and my heartbeat would jump up from the normal 100 something beats a minute to it would jump up to like 300-400 beats a minute. Like super scary, yo. Like, and I missed half my sophomore season because of that. Like I had to get surgery. They had to take the type of surgery they did. They take a camera and a laser, and they went up through the veins in my femur right here, and they went up to my heart, and they took the camera and the laser following the camera. They found the extra vein, and then they laser burned it or whatever. So it's like I'm essentially cured of it pretty much. There's you know what I'm saying? Like there's a 99.99% chance that it's completely gone. There's always that 0.00001 chance that it can come back. But that being said, I try to avoid energy drinks. I try to avoid anything that's gonna naturally that could potentially make my heart beat faster than what it's supposed to do. So you know what I'm saying? Like all I drink is soda and tea. Really, I don't drink energy drinks. I don't drink coffee. None of that shit. Like.
And do you currently do anything for exercise? And if so, what do you do?
I make the world my gym. Honestly, like I'm not a gym type person. I never liked going. Even when I played sports, I wasn't a fan of the gym. So like I'll walk. I'll walk from here to wherever I gotta go. Like what I'm saying. Right before you guys got here, I walked to the store to get these blunts. You know what I'm saying? Like walk there, roll right back real quick. On a day like today, if I had to work and I didn't have a ride, I would take the bus. I'll walk down to the bus stop and take the bus because that's just what I do when I'm at work. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll be moving all the heavy tables and everything. Like I just make the world my gym. Anything that I know is gonna physically make me fit, I'm gonna do it. Besides going to the gym, because I'm not a gym man.
Yeah. Do you have any bad habits now or in the past?
Pretty lazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do what has to be done, but I mean, I guess I'm not really lazy. I do what has to be done. I guess my I don't know. I haven't really focused on bad habits. I just live my life, you know. Like bad habit is a habit, is a habit. Good or bad, it ain't did me done. It ain't did me in yet. So I'm gonna keep doing it.
Have you ever been a victim of a crime?
No, not serious. No, not at all. I ain't never been a victim of a crime. Not that I can think of.
And have you ever been in a serious accident?
I was in a serious accident. Back in 2013, I took some. I went to this party. You know, I was supposed to stay the night at the party. I had the room all rented out and everything. Cause you know, it was my coworkers. They were like, "Oh, we got the room for you. I put my bags in there and everything." You know, like. Then I took this Xanax. You know, and then from then. I fucking blacked out. I don't remember. Damn, I don't remember shit. I remember taking the Xanax at the party, and I remember waking up in bed. You know what I'm saying? At my house. Somebody must have said some shit that I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously I gathered all my shit and I left. Apparently, I fucking hit the middle divider in my truck and I flipped that shit on the freeway. Thank God that nobody else was there. You know what I'm saying? I do have like a kind of like a deja vu hazy memory of the police giving me a breathalyzer. But I passed that shit, you know, and then like I said, I just remember waking up in bed with all my shit in my room.
Has anyone ever saved your life?
Not anything seriously, something that I couldn't have gotten myself out of, you know?
So you had mentioned the procedure when you were hospitalized. Were there any other times that you've been hospitalized, and if so, for what?
Oh man, let me tell you. Apparently, I've got a really fragile stomach. I've had the stomach flu, like 4 or 5 times. You know, I've recently found out that I am allergic to soju alcohol. I don't know what it is in soju. I could only assume that it's the tapioca in soju, you know. But it makes me deathly ill. Like, deathly ill. Like, the last time I went in December. I went December 17th. And we went to have some drinks or whatever. We got the tower. You know, it was just me, a couple of my friends, my girlfriend at the time, not my wife, and my other coworker. We was just hanging out, right? And we was drinking the soju. At some point in the night, the girls look at me. They're like, "Hey man, are you okay? You look pale." And I'm like, "Hey man, I can't be pale. I'm black. I'm good," you know. And little did I know that, like, I woke up the next morning just an exorcist projectile vomiting like into the toilet. It was all bad, like. And you know, in between throwing up, I was laying on the ground and I had these like muscle spasms. Like, oh man, I felt like what I would imagine like a heroin addict withdrawing or something. Like, it was horrible. Like, I had to go to the ER and everything. Like, that shit was bad.
How long ago was that?
That was in December.
This past December? As far as inventions in your lifetime, like, what would you say some of the biggest inventions are?
Oh man, definitely has to be like the blowing up of the internet. The blowing up of the internet in general, like, cause when I you know what I'm saying, when I started dating, actually, we'll start from there. When I started dating, when I started talking to that girl, you know, we would talk on the phone all the time. You know, and I would have to make sure that, you know, somebody's not on the internet when I'm trying to talk on the phone. You know, like I'm in the living room. I can't just take my cell phone down the street or whatever. I'm in the family room, like, you know, looking around, making sure people walking past as I'm talking on the phone. I got the cord. I can't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got the cord. So yeah, from there to like now, where, you know what I'm saying, you guys just came up and we're doing this interview all wireless in a garage right now, where like nothing is plugged in. So yeah, man, it's crazy. That's the biggest invention, is like just the internet and how everything is just so technology is so convenient now.
And so you're kind of already speaking to I guess what my follow up to that is going to be, which is like, how would you say the world is different right now than it was when you were a kid growing up?
Oh, it's definitely different now because growing up, you can go out into the world. You were forced to go out into the world, to talk to people and interact with people, you know. be it to play, like, even to something as playing a video game, you know, like I said, I'm a gamer now, like, nowadays, I could just sit in my room, and I could play games all day without ever having to leave my room, and I could talk to whoever, whenever, however, you know, but back in the day, if I wanted to play with somebody, I would have to, like, you know what I'm saying, I couldn't call them because, you know, they probably wouldn't even be at the house. I got to go track them down, see where they at, you know, round them up, and be like, hey, man, you can come to my house, play some Super Mario Brothers, you know, like, you know, so yeah, it's just everything is just at your fingertips now, you know, like, I could just be like, hey, man, you want to play some Super Mario Brothers right now? You know, and you don't even have to leave your house, we could play online.
Do you remember your parents ever talking about, like, world events and, like, politics and stuff?
No, I don't really remember my parents talking about world events, but I can tell you that I got kind of aware of world events. Honestly, 9/11, that's when I got aware of world events. You know, I was in sixth grade, I was in math class, school day just started. You know, the whole world came to a pause to watch those towers crumble. You know, so like, from that moment on, I was like, yo, like, you realize it's not all about you, you know, like there's other things happening in the world. Up until then, I thought my teachers were robots and they would just be there, you know, and then like, you know, they would shut down when the school day is over and then they would boot back up when the next day started. Like, you know what I'm saying? Seeing that made me realize that teachers is people too.
How would you describe yourself politically? Conservative, liberal, and if either, why?
I'm more situational, you know, like, I guess saying that would make me more liberal than you know, because I'm situational, I guess, but I like to hear the issues and then make an informed opinion, formulate an opinion based on the issues at hand, you know, like, I can't make an issue I can't say anything about anything I've never heard about or even read about or researched on, you know, if I don't know about it, I can't speak on it.
What wars have occurred in your lifetime that you can think of?
I know Desert Storm occurred in my lifetime, 91 or whatever, but technically I don't remember that. But excuse me, the Iraq War, you know, that was like the War on Terror, you know, that I guess does that count as a war? You know, it's like those wars, I suppose. Couldn't give you the time frame for them, but those were wars in my lifetime that I remember being on the news.
You kind of already answered this, but what were you doing during 9/11 and when the Twin Towers fell?
During 9/11, I just got to school. I was in the first class of the day. You know, we was just starting our lessons and everything, and they just cut on the news like, yo, this is happening right now. Like, I honestly thought it was a joke. You know, and then like going out through the rest of the day, hearing everybody keep talking about it, and then getting home and then like seeing like news about it, I was like, yo, this shit is real. Like, this shit is wild. This shit was crazy.
Can you name a friend that you've been friends with for maybe like the longest? And how long have you guys been friends?
My best friend right now, his name is Nick. Nick Butler. We've been friends since 2012. Like, ever since I came back from Illinois, he worked the night shift, so he would just, I don't know what prompted him to blow my phone up in the morning, but he would come over after he would get off work or whatever. I would wake up, he would come over, and we would just fucking smoke and chill for a few hours or whatever. Then he'd go home and knock the fuck out, and then I'd be up for my day.
Can you think of anybody who you might, in your life, who you could consider like some would call it a kindred spirit, some say like a soulmate, and what is it about you, them, and like your connection that makes it special?
Now, asking that question, does it have to be somebody that I know? Could it be like a celebrity or something, or just somebody I feel like is like my spirit animal or something? Is that what you're asking me?
It could be either one. I don't
2 Chainz, man. 2 Chainz is live, man. 2 Chainz is so dope. 2 Chainz has this internet show right now called The Most Expensive, and he's like the realest dude on there. Like, he just goes about, he gets different people, different rapper people, and then he'll just go and just do like the most expensive shit. Like, for example, he took Janae Aiko to the most expensive psychic reading in LA. You know, like, he took one of his homeboys drank the most expensive bottle of water. You know, $100,000 bottle of water. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then 2 Chainz would just be like, at the end of it, he'll be like, yo, man, I know I like this expensive shit and all, but $10,000 for $100 for water? Hell no, man, I have to drink that shit on the tap. I'm like, damn, 2 Chainz, you real, yo. So I like 2 Chainz. You my spirit animal.
What was one of the hardest choices you've ever had to make?
One of the hardest choices I've ever had to make?
Yeah, or it could be more than one. But what were some of the choices that you would describe as being the hardest ones to make?
Man, that's a tough one, yo. Like, I don't know. Like, see, I guess the hardest choice I had to make was motherfucking Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Charmander, man. Like, goddamn, like, which one do you pick, dude? Like, they're all so good and they're all so cute. Like, which one do you fucking pick to go with you for the rest of your fucking Pokemon travels? Who knows? That was literally the toughest decision I've had to make ever. Like, I don't know which one. I could even now, like, I couldn't tell you. Like, I want to pick them all, but I can't. So I don't know.
What person has changed? Would you say has changed your life with something that he or she did?
What person has changed my life with something that he or she has done? I would honestly have to say that my ex has changed my life, man. Like, because that was like the cherry on top of realizing that you can do anything. You can do whatever you have to do to the best of your ability. Like, give your 100% all on something and still fail. You know, like, you can give your all and still fail. Like, realizing that's definitely what humbled me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay.
Do you remember any advice or comments that had a big impact on how you live your life?
Definitely. One of the biggest things that my dad told me growing up all the time was, and I quote, nigga, you better make sure that you have 90% of whatever you asking for before you ask me for anything. You know what I'm saying? So that means if I need $100, I better have $90 before I even ask. You know what I'm saying? That being said, I'm shit. I know how to. I do whatever has to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do this without help. Like, I mean, would I love some help? Yeah, I would love help. But do I need it? Nah, man, I don't need your help. It's fine. Will I die or go to jail? Nah, then I'll be straight. It's cool. I'll survive.
If you could change anything about yourself, what would it be?
Nothing. I love myself 100% the way I
am. What would you say is like the most stressful experience you've ever had to live through?
The most stressful experience I've ever had to live through? The most stressful experience I've ever had to live through was when we got caught up for a fucking DUI for smoking weed in Colorado in 2016. Vanessa had went to jail for a fucking night. I was out there by my fucking self. I had no fucking idea what to do. You know what I'm saying? I was scared out of my mind. Like, I had no fucking clue what to do. You know, thankfully my mom came through for me. Vanessa was able to get out in the morning, you know, and we got the fuck out of there because fuck Colorado.
Do you have anything? Do you still have harbor some ill feelings towards Colorado?
Yeah, Colorado's not my favorite state right now. Okay, you're in Colorado, you just stay over there.
You have a similar relationship to Colorado as Kobe Bryant. Same type of feeling.
I don't know Kobe Bryant's feelings toward Colorado, but I can tell you mine, man. Fuck Colorado. 2 fingers to Colorado.
So that might actually answer my next question, which is, what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?
That would have to be it, man. Like, just being out there in Colorado with no, that's not the scariest thing that ever happened to me. The scariest thing that ever happened to me was when I was with my ex and we was in Illinois and we had these roommates and we were just beefing so tough. Like, we went to work one day and we came back and they had put all of our shit, including our dogs, just out in the yard, though. They were just like, y'all niggas is done. You know what I'm saying? Just took all of our shit out there. I was just like, oh man, like, I don't know what to do. Like, my closest family was my sister 4 hours away in Indiana. You know what I'm saying? I still gotta work tomorrow. What you mean? I'm like, oh man. So I just threw all my shit in the house. I called the police, and it was like, yo, you can't kick these niggas out because they, you know what I'm saying, even though they're not on the lease. I actually built my first computer, and me and my wife have been enjoying that for a while. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Like, unfortunately, it literally just died on me today. Or else I'd go inside and be like, yo, man, you guys want to play some fucking Street Fighter or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had Mario Kart Double Dash, all that shit, but my computer just died on me today, and I haven't figured out what's wrong with it yet. But a computer would be something that I built that others have enjoyed.
That's cool. Are you gonna try to troubleshoot it, figure out what's wrong?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to troubleshoot it, figure out what's wrong with it. I've had plans for it, yo. Like I said, I'm a gamer. You know what I'm saying? That being said, Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild came out last year for the Nintendo Switch. A few years back, you know what I'm saying? Actually, when I lived in Oklahoma, I had a Nintendo Wii. I didn't really play it that much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not gonna buy a new Switch just to play that game. I found out that the Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild also came out for the Wii U. You know what I'm saying? I had the Wii U emulator. I had that game, yo. Unfortunately, my computer wasn't strong enough. It ran at like literally, you know what I'm saying, 15 frames a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like super slow. I'm talking like super slow. But I had that shit, you know. So all I gotta do is upgrade my rig and I should be able to play that shit. So I'm a gamer, yo.
How would you describe your sense of humor?
My sense of humor? All I have to say about my sense of humor is my name is Isaac. Isaac means laughing man. And I'm gonna let your imagination do the rest of the work from there.
What would you say is like the best practical joke that you played on somebody?
The best practical joke? Does it have to be a practical joke, or can it just be a joke?
It could be a practical joke, a prank, or a joke.
Prank or a joke? Well, I can just tell you guys my favorite joke, honestly. And is it in the sense of flaking? Is it racist if you blow in? Is it racist if you leave a nigga hanging? Yeah, I just want to know. Is it racist if you leave a nigga hanging? Like, you blew me off and I'm black and you left me hanging. You're racist. Just saying.
I like it. What activities do you enjoy as an adult?
All the bad ones. I like smoking weed. I like drinking. Those are my top two hobbies, honestly. I have to slow down on drinking, but one every once in a while won't hurt. Smoking and drinking, and but other than that, other than all the bad ones, I'm still a kid at heart, man. I love playing video games, and I watch anime. You know, like all the time. Like I watch anime so much. My mom was just like, "Yo, you know what? I'm gonna call you anime now." I'm like, "All right." Like it.
If the shoe fits.
You know.
What's the most amazing thing that's ever happened to you?
The most amazing thing that's ever happened to me. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of amazing things that happen to me. Like, I wish you guys could just walk in my shoes and just experience all the amazingness that happens. But to narrow it down to one thing would be pretty tough. Yeah, that'd be pretty tough. I can't do it.
Have you ever met any famous people?
I saw Stevie Wonder at the Pomona Fair one time, at the LA County Fair. That was cool from afar, you know. I don't think he saw me though.
What are your mom and dad's first full names? Forget first, just full names.
My dad's name is Oliver Tucker, and my mom's name is Angela Dolores Tucker.
Do you know your grandparents' full names?
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I just know Stanley Tucker. I don't even know. I don't even remember my grandma's name. Like I have an idea, but you're not gonna catch me being disrespectful guessing at a name that I might or may not know. So, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm gonna definitely have to do some research before I'm like, that's it.
And do you? This is just kind of like a little bit off script. Do you remember anything about grandma? Because I remember grandma passed in like 95, and you were born in what 90?
Yeah. So I really don't really remember. I don't remember a lot because I was only 5.
You're like a little bit less than a year younger than Lisa, right? So she's 89, and then Charles is how much younger than you?
Charles is 3 younger than me.
So he was born 93.
93.
93. Okay. Where were your dad and mom from?
Well, dad is from California apparently. I learned that, and mom is from Florida.
Mm-hmm. Do you know where about in Florida?
Nah, I don't know where about in Florida. Some kind of small village. Some kind of small village or something, you know what I'm saying? I think they still had a midwife and a witch doctor. I don't know.
Where are your grandparents from?
I couldn't tell you.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even tell you, man.
You have any guesses, or?
I don't even have any guesses. I have no guesses.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of an idea. I guess I kind of have an idea, but like I said, I wouldn't disrespect nobody by guessing. You know what I'm saying? So.
How do you feel right now as far as the different choices you made in school, work, career, spouse?
Well, as far as school goes, I don't know, man. I would love to go back to school, honestly. Like I had such a blast at the university, only at the university though. You know, so like I would have to go to university and stay near campus because that's when I had fun. As far as career goes, I have, like I said, like I can't even see myself retiring. I have no fucking clue what I'm gonna do. You know, so like as long as I'm just making this money to live comfortably, I'll be cool. You know. As far as spouse goes, I'm hella happy with my spouse. You know what I'm saying? She gonna see this. I'm not worried about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, she may not be no Beyonce or nothing, but she got my back, and I got hers, and that's all that really matters. You know what I'm saying? What was the last one that you mentioned?
It was pretty much just those three: school, career, and spouse.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah.
What organizations or groups have you ever belonged to?
Football team, really. That's it. Just every football team that I've ever played on. That's the only organization that I really belong to.
Can you remember or can you describe like a time and a place where you like truly felt like at peace and just truly just happy, at peace, happy to be alive? Like where were you? When was this? And what were you doing?
Well, that's kind of a hard question to answer, man. I really don't regret my existence, you know? Like, I mean, yeah, sure, I feel, like, neglected at times, or sometimes I feel like I don't even exist, but, like, as far as me, personally, I love me, you know what I'm saying? I know that I'm awesome, you know? My problem comes in showing other people that I'm awesome, you know? Like, trying to get other people to believe that I'm awesome, as just trying to get other people to believe I'm as awesome as I believe that I am, you know? So that being said, I love myself. Like I don't have an answer for that question.
What's the most beautiful place you've ever been to or visited, and what was it like?
The most beautiful place I've ever visited, I've ever been to. There's this place in Hacienda Heights. It's called Top of the World, and it's a little bit down the street from Planet Hills Mall. And you drive up this big ass hill, and then you park and you walk up a little bit more and go underneath this like fucking electrical tower or whatever. And then once you get to the top of this hill, you can literally see 360 degrees all over the fucking Southern California. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking amazing. It's so beautiful up there. Like, you can look up, you could damn near see to Huntington Beach, you could damn near see to like fucking LA, you could for sure see like fucking past Diamond Bar and shit, and you can see to the mountains that's fucking on the north side. Like, it's gorgeous.
Do they still let people go up there?
As far as I know, they let people go up there. I've been trying to go back up. I've been trying to take my wife back up there because I want to show her. I've been trying to show everybody up there because it's a fucking awesome ass place, yo. Like, it's dope. Like, I want to go back. But as far as I know, they still let people up there.
That's tight. Shit.
Not for the weekend though, huh?
Yeah, July 12th, I think.
See, that's the biggest problem. Is the weekend is when I make the fucking money. Like Friday, Saturday is when there's the most money for me to be out there.
I'm gonna try to go like maybe Thursday or something. But yeah, I think the whole thing is probably like Wednesday night or something to Sunday.
I'll probably try to have either Thursday night or Friday early Friday morning. It's not in there. I don't know. It might be. Well, I'll find it.
In regards to camping, if I'm working where I'm working now, I'm most likely not going to be making.
Mm-hmm.
But anything can happen. I could be somewhere else. Like I said, I am going to have to start trying to find another job now. So I might end up liking the second job better than my first job, you know? Like I like my first job, but the only thing about it is like Friday, Saturday nights when the money is made, everybody just turns to, it's like a fucking college frat party, man. Fuck, it just, you know what I mean? Everybody is just drunk and just fucking retarded. And it's like, come on, man, like, you guys have food? Yeah, we have food. You guys have food? Yeah, we have food. You guys have food? Come on, man, I just answered this question for you twice.
You say people get dumb on the weekends?
People get super dumb on the weekends. It's horrible. And you just straight up lose their mind.
Is that one on?
Yeah, this one's.
That one's on too?
Uh.
I think it is.
Yeah, it is.
What are all the pets that you've had, and do you have any favorite pets or pet stories?
We've had a couple of pets throughout the years. I guess my favorite pet story is in 7th grade, on my way to school, I found a cat. It was a cute little white cat, you know? And I put it in my locker so I can come back and collect it at the end of the day. It was a kitten, you know, so it wasn't like it was in the locker all squished and shit. It had plenty of space in the locker. The locker had holes. It was breathing. It was good, you know? And then, you know, so somebody snitched on me, but I was still able to collect this kitten at the end of the day. And I brought it home with me, you know? And I hid this kitten from my mom for 3 days before she found out that we had the kitten. And then I kind of let her find it, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not going to keep playing this hiding game. Fuck it. Let's go, you know? And she had found it. I was like, well, I've already had it for 3 days, so it can't really go anywhere now, you know? So I was able to keep the cat. It was pretty cool. It was pretty awesome.
How long did you keep the cat for?
The cat was technically mine up until we moved. You know what I'm saying? We moved to Covina, and I went back a few times, and the cat still recognized me. It was an outdoor cat. You know, I definitely didn't keep it indoors or whatever. I let it come inside a couple times, but my mom's not really a big fan of animals like that. You know, she had a cat, so she knows what cats bring and what cats do. She was like, nah, the cat stays outside. So, you know, but the cat recognized me when I came back, and that was pretty cool.
And you would feed it?
I fed it at first, but then it started getting its food from somewhere else. So yeah, I just kind of recognized it from that point on. We were just kind of acquaintances, you know. You know, cats, they do their own thing.
So it found a supplier.
It found a supplier. It found some better shit that I could supply. You know. Yeah. I put him on, and then he just left me out.
Is there anything you could think of that you've always wanted to do but haven't?
I've always wanted to do, but I haven't. Yes, of course. There's one thing that in particular that I've wanted to do. Remember Forrest Gump, where he ran across the countryside and he just kept running. After 9/11, I read a story about these brothers who hiked from California to Ground Zero, and they wanted to do it for a New Year's resolution to be there before 9/11. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if they mean it or anything, but that's a really good idea. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to just hike from here to New York. That would be dope. I wanted to hike from here to New York specifically to watch the ball drop in Times Square for New Year's. Like, I wanted to do that. But I've had nobody to go with. I'm not going to go by myself.
It's pretty tight, actually. And you'd obviously rather hike than drive because you like to do just
I consider
physical
biking.
shit.
Consider biking.
Yeah, but it's got to have a physical aspect to it. It's
Definitely,
gotta be,
definitely.
You can't just be sitting road tripping. Okay.
At the very least, I would do a train. You know, because I think a train would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can stop off in different cities. You can drink on a train. You know, but definitely, like, I would want to hike it or bike it if I can.
Okay, biking. What's the single most memorable moment of your life?
Single most memorable moment of my life. I don't have a single most memorable moment. My life is pretty awesome. There's a lot of moments that I like.
So we're gonna wrap it up with a quick round of rapid fire questions. It's pretty much just your favorite this, and it's a what it is and why.
Okay.
Board game.
Candyland, because I have a sweet tooth.
Book.
Not a book. I like The Wheel of Time because it's about fantasy and shit, and it's really deep. There's like 14 books. It's the first one I've ever read. I've yet to complete it. It's really awesome. My dad used to read it, and I want to complete it.
Did you ever talk to Uncle Clint about that book or not?
I have talked to Uncle Clint and CJ about those books.
Cookie.
Chocolate chip, because fuck oatmeal raisin.
Drink.
Mountain Dew. I love Mountain Dew. All flavors. Yellow, purple, the black, the blue. I love them all.
Flavor of ice cream.
Chocolate of some sort. Specifically, the Moose Tracks chocolate ones, because it has chocolate marble, it has peanut butter cups, it has chocolate chips, and it's just chocolate ice cream. It's fucking good. And they also have a vanilla variation as well, but it's, yeah, come on, chocolate.
Favorite holiday.
Halloween, because I got a sweet tooth. I want all the candy. Let me go do some fucking reckless Halloween shit.
Favorite meal.
Favorite meal? I'm a burger and sandwich guy. Love burgers and sandwiches. I eat burgers and sandwiches all day, every day.
Movie star.
Movie star? Pass.
Movie.
A Goofy movie. Goofy movie is my shit. It's in the VHS tape right now.
Who's your favorite possum?
Yes.
Musical group.
Musical group? I'm gonna pass on that one.
Restaurant.
Restaurant? Ooh, I like Del Taco. Del Taco's fucking fire. Del Taco is really good. I used to be a Taco Bell guy, but Taco Bell doesn't have burgers, and I can eat burgers and sandwiches all day, and Del Taco has burgers that are really fucking good.
You ever had the double Del?
Of course I've had the Double Down. That's like my signature. I eat
Okay.
that shit all the time.
Okay.
With the crinkle fries. Oh, man.
Favorite season.
I like summer season. Summer is my shit. I love it when it's hot. Usually I'm out here with a sweater right now because I'm cold. I need it to be hot. It's nice out here, but it's not warm enough. I need it to be hot.
Favorite singer.
Favorite singer? Fuck. Pass. I like them all. There's too many.
Favorite song.
Favorite song? My favorite song at the moment, there's two of them. I like the Good Night by John Legend. It's a fucking great song. And then I like Love Letter by Hips. It's another great song.
Favorite sport.
Football, of course, because that's what I've done, live and breathe it. But basketball is pretty awesome too when you're out there on the court throwing, shooting hoops. It's pretty dope. Playing horse, just taking it to the hoop. Oh, basketball's pretty fun too.
Style of music.
Pop. I think pop is my number one right now. Pop is pretty fucking catchy.
TV program.
TV program. Not a big TV guy, but Atlanta. Atlanta's my favorite show right now.
You seen the second season?
I have been watching the second season. I can't wait for the next episode.
Okay. That's tight. I remember playing basketball. You were pretty wet those last couple. That shit was going.
I haven't been on the court in a minute, but yeah, no, like seeing that, just feeling it, especially going from breaking from airballing to just being like, okay, I like that.
Yeah. What was the favorite possum's name? Lester.
Lester.
Hell yeah, man. That's a wrap, man.
All right. It was a pleasure, man. Fuck.
That was dope, man. Hell yeah.
Oh my God, that was great.